Heaven is dynamic rather than static. Who knows this guy? Roy G. Biv. Richard knows Roy G. Biv. No science teachers?
Grade school teachers?
Yeah. No? Red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, violet. What are those?
Colors of the rainbow.
Colors of the rainbows. Of course they are. You know that there's ultraviolet, right, on this end of the color spectrum, right? Okay, infrared on this end of the color spectrum that we didn't know. You can't see those colors, you know, with your naked eye. Do you think in heaven you'll be able to? Do you think that's the end of all the colors?
No.
Eye is not seen. There may be other colors in the color spectrum. Heaven is dynamic rather than static. Who's that guy? It's not John Wayne.
John
Denver.
Who?
John Denver.
Ooh. Is that up there? Can you get, huh?
No.
Child of the 70s, right? Yeah. Annie's song, yeah. You fill up my senses, right? What are the four classic elements? Another band here. Bruce, you got this one pretty quick. Earth, fire, wind, and water are the four classic elements of the periodic chart of the elements. Do you think God is limited to just these elements? To those colors? No. I don't think so. Yeah. If rule makers and scientists have the keys to the kingdom of heaven, I suspect heaven is a rather sparsely populated and sterile place. Heaven is endless beginnings rather than merely the end. Psalm 19, the heavens are telling the glory of God, and the firmament proclaims his handiwork. There's always going to be something new. After all, God is infinite. Scott Hahn says heaven is like the Mass. Richard, did you hand out any Scott Hahn readings when you were going over those list of prominent authors?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Scott Hahn says, the Mass is when heaven kisses the earth. What's the best thing about heaven? After all that stuff, what's the best thing about heaven? Here's some possible answers. Let's see if any of you guys bite on that. The best thing, well, the communion of saints. That's a picture of the communion of saints from the cathedral in Los Angeles. Jen, you want to tell a story about that?
They're like 20, no, what, I think they're 15 feet long, and they're tapestries. And the names of the saints are underneath them, but
Or on top of them.
oh, looks, yeah, you're right, on top, first mistake. But some of them don't have names. There's kids with dreadlocks and all-star sneakers on and stuff, and to me that said, that's all the people that we don't know that will be there, including us.
And the artist that wove this tapestry went out to the streets of LA and found homeless guys that looked like saints, or pictures of saints that he knew, and he used them for models to do this. So, what's the best thing about heaven? Is it the communion of saints? Is it the garden in the midst? The absence of sin, abomination, lies? Those are all pretty good attributes of heaven, I think. No pain, no sorrow, no tears, no death, no tempter. That'll be a plus, won't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. That God will be there. Remember Lex Orande, Lex Credende, our Father who art in heaven. Endless beginnings. Anybody bite on any of these? The best thing about heaven? Well, the best thing about heaven, especially as far as God is concerned, is that you will be there. Yeah. That's the best thing about heaven. Okay. A few minutes on HE double hockey sticks. Who's that guy?
Radar O'Reilly.
You guys, you know. Yeah. I'm gonna have to find a picture that's more obscure than this, yeah. The most common word for hell in the New Testament is Gehenna. Several of the 11 times it's used, it comes from the mouth of Jesus himself. Gehenna was a valley near Jerusalem. It was used as a garbage dump where people burned refuge, including human refuge and discarded babies. Jesus used it to mean a final place of punishment for the ungodly. We're cut off from God in hell, right? Scripture says it's a place of torment. If you understand free will, heaven is not a difficult concept.
Yeah, let's say that again.
What?
You said heaven instead of hell. Read it again.
If you understand free will, hell is not a difficult concept.
Perfect.
Does that sound better?
Yep.
I'm happy somebody was listening. Thank you, Jan.
Thank you, Richard.
Thank you, Richard. We do not know if anyone is in hell. The church does not teach that anybody's in hell. We do teach that people are in heaven, right? We named the saints and we named other people. The church doesn't teach that anybody's in hell. We don't know that. We don't know that. God does not will anyone to go to hell. Hell wasn't made for people. Hell is a place for the fallen angels and the devil. Hell is not condemnation of man by God. It's man's condemnation of himself. God doesn't send you to hell. You send yourself. If anybody is there, it's a willful, personal choice. Because the gates of hell are locked from the inside. Four minutes to spare. I'll yield my remaining 4 minutes to the gentleman from Shawnee.
Any questions for Deacon Tom?
Any easy questions for Deacon Tom? Or hard questions for Richard? Does anybody want a copy of that website, that link to the Archdiocesan Guide for Dying? Nobody wants that? Okay. Thanks.
All right, thank you.